Hello, in this video I am going to answer the next questions. Question number 1. The most important thing about a job is the salary? If I agree, because generally all the jobs involve a responsibility and as a consequence an economic remuneration. Many people have different jobs, and all are of great importance to the place where they work. The most important thing is not only the salary. For example, if I am a doctor and I work in a hospital, I receive a salary. But if I help people saving lives, my work is worth more than my salary. Another example will be if I am a public official and I work with people generating jobs. My work will also be more important. But on a personal level, salary allows us to educate ourselves, feed ourselves and our family. Question number 2. You can know a lot about a person from the clothes he or she wears. According to a psychologist theory, each piece you wear is a word that reveals something about you. Every person creates a language of clothing that is born from their experience and influence, and he adds sometimes that has led many people to ask for his help. With you realizing to it, people can spread strong their clothing, use what they don't want to confess about themselves. That is with us who try to reinvent themselves and up with a new image but continue to emit the same signals. For example, if a woman dresses very striking, the electric blue bag, the rolling red glasses, the chains that announced your arrival, give away the person you want to attract attention. If they wear very dull clothes, if you always opt for neutral tones, classic clothing and minimalist accessories, you give the impression of being a withdrawn person who wants to go unnoticed. Question number 3. Teachers should be able to use physical punishment. I do not agree with this. The physiologists found that the effect of psychical punishment is related to the children's immediate obedience after receiving it, but that does not imply that you learn to behave appropriately, but rather that you seek to avoid pain. It is inadmissible today no type of physical, psychological, or moral violence can be tolerated within education instruction. Any argument normalizes two types of acts that unfortunately continue to be present in some institutions in the world. We need the teacher to generate motivation from learning. All models which are still present in urban and rural institutions must be changed, those practices must be stopped. Question number 4. Global warming is not real. All over the world there are signs that the earth is warming up. The easiest way to observe rising temperature is to examine the thermal records collected over the past century and a half worldwide. The average temperature of the Earth has risen over the past century and nearly doubled in some areas of the Arctic. This does not imply that temperatures have not fluctuated between the different regions of the planet or between seasons and hours of the day, but if we calculate the average temperature in the whole world for a year, we observe an accelerating pattern. Question number 5. There are actions we can take to stop global warming. If I agree for the following reason. 1. Use public transport. Walking or biking or using public transportation instead of the car will reduce carbon emissions. And you can also stay healthy. If absolutely necessary, use an electric vehicle and choose the train instead of the plane for your trips. 2. Save energy. Turn off and unplug your home appliances when not in use, and the next time you go shopping for equipment, be sure to check that it makes efficient use of energy. And 3. Recycle. Be reducing the waste you throw away and trying to reuse the material you have already used. You can make a change. Question number 6. There are no such things as ghosts. I do not agree with this because when people die, all their consciousness disappear and becomes inert. There is no credible scientific evidence for the existence of this. The belief in ghost spirits and other paranormal phenomena has been deeply rooted since ancient times. Ancient cultures speak of specters that are formed at the time of the death of the individual, adopting his personality and memory. Relatives were obligated to make offerings of food and drinks to the dead to facilitate their life in the other world because otherwise their ghost could bring ill fortune and disease to the living. Question number 7. Everyone has the right to have an opinion, even if the opinion is false according to well-known facts. Yes, I agree. All of us have rights and obligations, and freedom of expression will depend on each country. For example, in my country, freedom of expression is fully guaranteed, but this right has its limits. The limit is that it cannot affect the other person with my opinion, so we can say that everyone will have the right to express their opinion with you interference and everyone will have the right to freedom of expression. This right will include the freedom to seek, receive, and disseminate information and ideas of all kinds, regardless of borders, whether orally, in writing, or printed in the form of art, or be any other means of your choice. Question number 8. People get offended too easily nowadays. Mm, I agree, but it is not your totality since many people do not take offense and others do. We have all met someone who tends to be offended by everything. It is very difficult to treat these types of people since at any time they can be upset about sometimes that has never occurred to us that could bother them. The complicated thing is that many times they feel annoyed or uncomfortable by facts or situations that really do not deserve it. Whether it be a trivial joke, a little forgetfulness, or the use a word that they think intolerable. Question number 9. What goes around comes around? If you do good, God will come to you. If you do bad things will happen to you. If I agree with this because it has happened to me many times. It is also known as the law of karma. The law of karma is infallible, and we are all invariably subject to it. Sometimes we ignore the fact that most of our lives are spent completing the destiny created by our karmas or action in our past lives. According to the law of karma, each positive action we do generates merit, while each negative action generates sin, the fruits of which we later wrap with happiness or unhappiness. All the important events in our life are predestined. For example, the family in which we are born, whom we will marry. During our day-to-day interactions, we are playing an old account or creating a new one. If an account is not settled in the current birth, move on to the next. Question number 10. Parents should never hit their children. I do not agree with this since physical violence does not lead anywhere. This type of violence towards children can lead to physical assault. Many states try to penalize parents who commit this type of assault. Children are people with equal rights, creditor of the same dignity and respect as any other human being. In addition to the extra need to be protected given their vulnerability. You children are not your property, they do not belong to you. They are independent human beings, although, as in the case of children, you have been the means to bring them into the world. but that privilege that life has given you to be able to veget or breathe does not confer rights on that other. See you in the next video. Bye.